This is a 40 by 60 with a 20 by 60 lean-to off to the side that's not enclosed. The 40 by 60 will be enclosed with 2 roll-up doors and 2 entry doors. Have insulation in the enclosed portion. The lean-to will be open with a dirt floor, no concrete. So my video here is how I'm going to lay out the doors. And behind me here I've got a 10 by 10 opening. This is a roll-up door up under the lean-to on the sidewall of this building. My thoughts is to put the entry door here, and I discussed this with the customer and he has agreed. So this is a 60-foot building from front to back. So I'm going to kind of center this entry door right here between this center column and this roll-up door. I've got 6 foot of space, so I'm going to put my entry door there. That way if I'm under the lean-to working, each end of the building, it will be about 30 feet to that entry door to enter his building. If I put the door all the way at one corner or the other, now sometimes the design of your building on the inside affects this, but I'm just laying this out as the shop itself. He is going to store his old cars in this building, or his nice old cars. He's going to store in this building, so it's not like a house where it has a floor plan and you have a certain living room or living space to enter in. So I believe if he puts any kind of man cave, it will be here in the back front end wall where that building will be accessed. I put the walk-in door on the opposite side of that roll-up door from this side wall. That way if he accesses the building from the front, he's more or less on that side. If he accesses it from this side, he's on this side of the building once he enters the building. And maybe he doesn't have to walk around cars or lifts or just storage in the way to get to his roll-up doors. The thought of an entry door next to a roll-up door is, most of the time when you're working with a shop or a warehouse, when you enter the building, you're there to roll up the roll-up door or access it. The further away that walk-in door, that entry door is from that roll-up door, the more steps, and a majority of the time in a storage building, you're going to stack stuff in the way. So in my shop, I put the entry door 12 feet down the wall from my roll-up door, and now I've got a cabinet and we store ladders, and it's just everything's in the way. So I've got to actually walk around out in the middle of the building back to the roll-up door to let it up. So if I can access that roll-up door pretty simple without getting in the way of my storage, or rule of thumb is I put the entry door 2 to 3 feet from the roll-up door. That way I can walk in the building, open the roll-up door, drive my car in, pull my tractor out, whatever. I'm storing in that building, and I don't have to worry about floor space. Always swing the entry door to the outside. The way this steel frame and this steel entry door is, these are 8-inch thick walls because we have 8-inch purlins on our walls. That's kind of a standard with steel buildings. When you get into engineered buildings and you have bigger walls and thicker gauges, things of that nature, sometimes you'll end up with a 10 or 12-inch wall, but a majority of the time, a standard steel building, we have an 8-inch wall. So our walk-in doors are built for that 8-inch wall. They slide on there. If we swing the door in, that door leaf will be on the inside of that frame, and therefore we will expose 6 inches of the concrete outside the door, because the exterior of the building is flush with the outside of that door jamb. The door leaf will be in 6 inches. If it's not under a shelter, then rain or weather will get on that concrete, and majority of the time the concrete's a little bit higher. If it's an 1/8 inch or a 1/4 inch higher on the edges than it is out in the center, when the water falls on that 6 inches of concrete that's exposed to the outside of the building, it will leak under the door. I don't care how much caulk, how much sealer, whatever you want to put down there. I've tried it all. Eventually water will penetrate through that section. So we always swing our entry doors out. If a customer asks me to swing it in, it better be under a shelter. So I always swing them out. That's just a standard with warehouses or storage buildings. You swing the entry door out. when you swing the entry door in the building, you lose floor space. A standard entry door is 3 foot wide, so you'll have to have 3 foot of floor inside that you'll have to save and not use because of the swing of the door. Then you'll want an extra 2 to 3 feet for a walkway or access. And you know, in many storage buildings, we don't hardly ever leave that space. If we've got the floor, we stack stuff in it, we store it to the roof or stack it to the roof. So then actually swinging a door into a room, you're losing about 6 foot of floor space. If you enjoyed this information, it brought any kind of value to you, all I ask is that you hit that like button, and if you ain't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Give us a huge thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Let me know how I can do better. If I told you some kind of wrong information, or if you have a better way, I'm here to learn also. So I love the feedback. That just makes me better in my job, helps me with customers, and I know there's 100 different situations of how doors can be set, how buildings can be built. This is just my experience. Thanks for tuning in. I hope to see you on the next one. And until then, let's build it. And I don't think I'm going to put this in a video because it's just a waste of time. One thing in setting your doors is you must make sure that your frame is square and plumb, and also that your concrete is level. So my first step in this process was to plumb my corners of my building on this wall. So I got them plumb. Then I go, once I establish that and I get my straps or my cables in there, then I come back to these roll-up door jambs, and then I can plumb those. I plumb those left and right to match my corners. I get those plumb. But then I want to plumb in and out. And sometimes your concrete slab, because some concrete guys will get off with their forms or whatever, it should be a straight shot at the bottom and it should plumb down exact. But in case it doesn't, for instance, if a concrete guy is going to mess up, he's going to mess up in front of a door almost 99.9% of the time. And that's what exactly happened here. The one side that his form bowed out just a tad, or it bowed in, was right here where this 10 by 10 was. So once I establish my quarters plumb, I come to my jambs, establish them plumb left and right. Now I want to plumb them in and out. So on this particular side of the roll-up door, the jamb needed to come out past the slab 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. I would rather have that than setting exactly with the slab. I would rather have my jamb plumb, because that roll-up door rolls and drops into a track, and as long as you hang your doors level at the top, then when it unrolls off the roll, it will hang straight down. If your jamb is plumb, then there's usually no problem. Then I want to come to this other side, get it plumb. Well, here the slab bows out, and it says that I need to go back in 1/2 inch. Well, in that case, that will affect my base trim and affect my sheets. When I put those screws in the bottom of my panels, it may bow those panels a little bit. So what I'm going to do is split the difference.